In the ancient land of Ur, where idols were worshipped and false gods were honored, a man named Abram lived with his father Terah and his household. But among the noise of idol worship, the voice of the true and living God thundered with power and clarity. And God said to Abram, "Leave your father's house. Leave your country. Leave your people. Go to a land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great. And you shall be a blessing." Without hesitation, Abram obeyed. He was 75 years old. With his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all their possessions, he departed from Haran and journeyed toward Canaan. Abram did not know where he was going, but he trusted the voice that called him. As he walked through the land of Canaan, God appeared again and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." Abram built an altar there, calling upon the name of the Lord. But famine struck the land. Abram was forced to go down to Egypt. There, fearing for his life, he told Sarai to say she was his sister. Pharaoh took Sarai into his palace, but the Lord struck Pharaoh's house with plagues. When Pharaoh learned the truth, he sent Abram and Sarai away. Back in Canaan, Abram and Lot grew wealthy. Their herds grew so large that the land could no longer support them together. So they parted ways. Lot chose the fertile plains of Sodom, while Abram stayed in the land of Canaan. Then one day, war broke out. Lot was taken captive. When Abram heard this, he armed 318 trained men born in his house and pursued the kings who had taken Lot. In a bold and daring rescue, Abram defeated the kings and brought Lot back safely. As he returned from battle, the mysterious priest King Melchizedek met him and blessed him. And Abram gave him a tenth of all. But still, Abram had no child. And the word of the Lord came to him in a vision, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward." Abram said, "O Lord, what will you give me, since I remain childless?" Then God took him outside and said, "Look up at the stars, count them if you can. So shall your descendants be." Abram believed the Lord, and it was credited to him as righteousness. But Sarai grew impatient. She gave her maidservant Hagar to Abram to bear a child. Hagar gave birth to Ishmael. But this was not the child of promise. When Abram was 99 years old, God appeared to him and changed his name to Abraham, meaning father of many nations. God also changed Sarai's name to Sarah, meaning princess. And God made a covenant with Abraham, an everlasting promise sealed with circumcision. He promised that Sarah would bear a son. Abraham laughed at the thought, for he was old, and Sarah was far beyond childbearing age. But nothing is too hard for the Lord. One hot day, 3 heavenly visitors came to Abraham's tent. He bowed low and welcomed them with food and rest. Then one of them, the Lord himself, said, "This time next year, Sarah will have a son." From inside the tent, Sarah laughed. Then the Lord said, "Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord?" Before the visitors left, they told Abraham about the wickedness of Sodom and Gomorrah. And Abraham pleaded for mercy. If there are 50 righteous, of 45, of 40, 30, 20, 10. But not even 10 could be found. Fire rained down upon Sodom. Lot was rescued, but his wife looked back and turned into a pillar of salt. Then, just as God had promised, Sarah conceived. And in her old age, she gave birth to a son. They named him Isaac, laughter, for God had turned their sorrow into joy. But the test of Abraham's faith was not over. One day, God said, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and offer him as a sacrifice on the mountain I will show you." With a heavy heart and trembling hands, Abraham obeyed. He bound Isaac, laid him on the altar, and raised the knife. But then, "Abraham, Abraham!" The angel of the Lord called out, "Do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear God." And Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught in the thicket. He offered it instead. On that mountain, Abraham named the place "The Lord will provide." Years passed. Sarah died at the age of 127. Abraham wept for her and buried her in the cave of Machpelah. Then he sent his servant to find a wife for Isaac. With prayer and guidance, the servant found Rebekah at a well. She returned and became Isaac's wife. Abraham lived to see the blessing of the Lord in his old age. He had more children through Keturah after Sarah's death. But Isaac remained the child of promise. At the age of 175, Abraham breathed his last and died, full of years and peace. Isaac and Ishmael came together to bury him beside Sarah in the cave of Machpelah, the same land Abraham had purchased with his own silver. He was buried not just as a man of faith, but as a friend of God, a man who walked with God, a man who obeyed even when he did not understand. Through him, the nations of the earth would be blessed, and through his seed, Jesus Christ, the promise would be fulfilled.